All right, everybody, thank you so much. We are now over 3 months into this fun pandemic and our virtual training. And I just want to say thank you guys. We appreciate you all being on and coming back each and every week. We appreciate all the deals. We have kind of turned a turning point, and order count is going back up. The market is normalizing. And that's really led by you guys sending us deals to Trident and Performance and Synergy. So we really appreciate that. Thank you guys. We have decided that we are definitely going to keep doing these virtual workshops moving forward. So we're going to stick with this Monday at 11 o'clock time. Next week, if you didn't hear already, we have a big class all about how to attract more listings and some new styles to go after listings, more than just the standard ones that you hear all the time. So make sure you book on your calendar next week, Monday at 11. And we're going to continue pushing forward with this. So on behalf of Trident Title, Performance Title, Synergy Title, and Apex Training, I would like to bring to you our Build a Brand workshop. And today we're going to be focusing on you and actually building your real estate brand. Love this quote: design is the silent ambassador of your brand. So when people are looking at you and they're looking you up and you're not there to talk to them in person, face to face, have a conversation, what they're looking at is all the different elements of your brand, how it was designed and what it looked like. So these are some key elements that as real estate agents, we are lucky that we do get to create our own brand, regardless of what brokerage you work for. You do still kind of get to build your own brand and control how you're seen out there in the public. And we want to work on that today because that's something that is really big for you guys as you look to grow a business. So we're going to talk all about building a brand today. A little bit about me for those of you guys that I don't know or I'm just meeting for the first time. My name is Ryan McHugh. I've been licensed for about 10 years. I've been a single agent. I've been a big part of a really big team. We did over 400 deals a year, 90 million in volume, a couple of years in a row. Took us to the #1 in the state of Florida and number 11 in the country in units. And also have ran a couple different offices. I've recruited over a couple hundred agents. So I've done everything on the real estate side. And for the past 6 months or so, I've been strictly focused in the title world, helping drive deals via education, training, and helping agents out for Trident Title, for Performance Title, Synergy Title, Lancaster Group, all the companies that we work with. So I do ask, if you learn anything today, if you get something out of it, please send us some deals. And it's not only for me. I team up with the greatest people on the planet: John Weber, Chrissy Blanco, Jason Summers, and I am fortunate to have all of our other branch reps on the call. So we have Melissa Kidwell, Dave Ward, Tracy Sender, and Gab Bryce. So if you're on here because of them, thank them. And continue sending us deals so we can keep putting these things on free of charge for you guys. We created our company Apex Training, I guess, right before the craziness started happening in the world with the COVID stuff, really just to give back and give as much value as we can to real estate agents. And we firmly believe that if we give you value and help you guys do more deals, you're going to send deals back our way. And a lot of you have already done that. So thank you for that. And to those of you who have not yet sent us a deal, I am confident that it is coming because some of you guys I see on the call every week. So I know you will send us some deals, and I appreciate that. All right, let's dive in. So why build a brand? The big reason really at the end of the day does come down to money. If you look at the top brands in the world, they are all things that have worked very, very hard to create a brand. And yes, we don't see a real estate brand on there. However, a brand has value. And when you build a brand, you have something to work on. And most of the time in real estate, I understand that we spend most of our time in the trenches. We're at inspections, we're showings, we're going on listing appointments, we're meeting inspectors, insurance people, mortgage people, sending title deals over. We're doing all those fun things, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, sometimes we need to really jump in a helicopter and take a 30,000-foot view of our brand and really work on that and build that so that someday we maybe have something to sell or we have something that's worth value if we ever want to have an exit strategy. And also because it helps us build something that others can look at and find in more ways than just by referral. A lot of us on this call operate very strictly on referral, and that's fantastic. It's a great way to do business. However, if you want to scale and grow, you do need a brand to be able to reach outside people that you just don't have a connection to and to tap into different communities. And that's more important now than ever, especially now over these past 3 months and likely the coming couple months, where people are attached to their social media, to their phone, to their computer. They have nowhere to go. So they're looking at brands, they're looking at content, and they're learning what's going on in their world, and they're exploring things that they're thinking about making purchases down the line. A lot of people that were affected by this couldn't make purchases now or sell things now. However, as normality returns, they are looking for brands that they believe in, that they trust, that stand for what they stand for, so that they can look to someone so that when they do need to make a purchase or sell something, they can do that. So just like these other brands that you see on the screen, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Coke, Amazon, they all have a brand. recognizable logo and all different pieces. And we're going to talk about all that stuff today. And I believe that there's 12 steps that you really need to have an efficient brand. And we're going to talk about all that. So what's in a brand? These are kind of my 12 key pieces to having a real successful brand. And this does work for real estate. Obviously, this is targeted at real estate agents and mortgage lenders. However, if you have a side hustle or another business, or a spouse owns a business, or you work really closely with a local business, these are things that go and flow across all of these, not only across real estate. So if you have, at the end of this, if you want to share this with somebody, or if you have a group of local business owners or somebody that we can help them do this for also, let us know. All right, so my 12, we're going to dive into each one of these individually, but I want to share all 12 of them first up front. So a name, obvious, right? An MVVP, a UVP, a niche, who will find you, how and who and why will they succeed with you, a logo, a phone number, an email, a slogan, and then you need digital material and physical material. So all 12 of these, we're going to dive a little bit more in depth. And everybody that is on the call, we have a special for you as well if you need help building brands or logos or creating any of this stuff. So number one, to start us off here, is a name. Sounds simple, but we have to think. Number one, is our name memorable? Is this something that people can easily remember, they can easily find? Is it easy to Google? Is it easy to find on social media? All the places that people are going to look, do we have something that's really, really simple to remember? Things like Amazon and eBay and Apple and Coke and all these things are nice because they're one word. They're real simple to do. In real estate, we can't always do that, right? A lot of times we have the XYZ team or the XYZ group or something realty. But we have to make these as simple as we can. So if people are driving by or they just hear a piece of your name, they need to be able to remember that and find you in some way. So think about that. Next is what you see versus what you hear. So when you see this on paper, does it look okay? Does it look clean? And when you hear it, when you hear other people talking about it, how does it sound? Think about this when you're going to get on the phone, right? So if you're about to start making prospecting calls or generate a lot of leads and you have a lot of incoming calls, constantly, every single day, you have to say, hi, this is Ryan at Trident Title. Or, hi, this is Ryan at Performance Title. Are those things easy to spit out? Are they easy for your customers to hear? And are they memorable to hear? Next is there a corresponding domain names available? And what I mean by that is when you come up with a name for your brand, can you go buy that web address? Can you go buy or find those social media platforms as well? Because what you don't want to have is 5 or 6 different variations of your name where people can't find it. So if I had the Gabby team, I want to be able to be the Gabby team on a website, on my email, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Pinterest. I want to be able to have that same name that I can use across all the different platforms so that there's unity. And when people are trying to find me, they don't have to look in all these different places to find different things. So before you really decide on and finalize a name, and before you decide to grow this brand, that's something that you want to check in on all those different sites and all those different places and make sure that it's going to be available for you. Next, could it hold a positive or negative correlation to something else? So just think of your brand, especially with everything that's going on in the world. We want to make sure that we're not ever going to be offending someone or saying something that could leave question marks at the end of it. So whenever you come up with something, or if you have something now, make sure you ask some people, talk to some people, say it a couple times, answer the phone that way, and see how it sounds. Next is, will people buy something from that name? Meaning, are they going to be happy to say that they brought or sold a piece of real estate or an investment property or a flip or did a mortgage with whatever your name is? And last on the name thing is this, is someone going to buy that name for $10 million? And I know that might be an exaggeration for some of our real estate businesses. However, think about when I go and build this business and it grows and grows and grows and I have a brand and eventually I get approached and someone wants to buy my business. Are they going to do that? Are they going to want to spend money on your name? Are they going to want to spend money on what's attached to it, the logo and the brand? And I know a lot of us are thinking that may never happen or that's not something what we want to do, but all of us in life need to have some kind of an exit plan. And there's going to be some day when you don't feel like showing houses anymore, or going on listing appointments. And when you're selling a real estate business, you don't really have any physical assets to sell, right? We're not selling, most of us don't have a building that we operate in. We're using leased space or office space. So what are we actually selling? We're selling our brand, we're selling our database, we're selling our book of business, and that has to be worth something to someone. So creating this brand is really important with that. And everything kind of starts and stems off the name. So that's why we spent some time on that. These are just some examples of some names that I found. I literally just Googled top real estate names, and I think these are lots of different companies, but just things that are memorable and things to give you some ideas. You have to be very careful with what you can say and what you can do now with CFPB and fair housing and all those things. If you are not your own brokerage, you can't have the word realty or real estate in your name or in your logo. So be very careful when you're designing some of those things, and maybe consult somebody else first, or your broker if you work for an agency, or even the legal hotline, or even Paul Krasker on what you can say or what you can do, so that you don't get in trouble and have to change these things somewhere down the line. It's very important that we're not deceiving the public, in that we are not acting like we are our own broker, our own brand, if we are not that. We have to be a team at a brokerage or a group at a brokerage, but not look to the public like we are our own company if that is not what we are. So those of you guys that are teams at Keller Williams and Remax and England Volkers and Illustrated and all the different great places that we have on the call, just make sure that you're kind of following that compliance-wise when you do create one of these. Next, an MVVBP. This holds people up the most. And a lot of people, I've taught this before in a couple different ways, and a lot of people don't do this. I saw Jeff Hall is on the call before, and if you really want a great example of this, they did this years ago. I think it was probably approaching 3 years ago when I taught a version of this, and they actually created one of these, and it goes out to all their buyers, it goes out to all their sellers. It's in their intro packet. It's really fantastic. So I know you're probably looking at all these letters and saying, what the heck do these things mean? So I want to share that. Number one is your mission. So why are we working? What are we doing? What is the reason for us doing this business? And it's not to make as much money as we can selling real estate. You know, it's who we're trying to help, or what are we trying to do? Next is our vision. So where are we going? Where do we see ourselves in the future? So are we a top producing team of realtors? Are we, the number one brokerage in Palm Beach County? Where are we going? Where's our destination? Not where we're at right now, but where do we see ourselves going? Our value, or our values. So what's important to us? How do we operate our business? How do we run our life? Our beliefs. How do we operate every single day? What's something that we look at and we say, okay, this is our belief system, and this is what we follow, and this is how we run our business. And last is our perspective. So where are we at today? If you looked us up now, where are we at? And if you're a new agent or you're newer on the call, it doesn't mean you're writing here, oh, I sell one home, or I've sold my first home. It's more of, we believe we are active in our community and working to help the greater good, whatever it may be. So take some time to really create these. I always advise people, if you look at any of the Fortune 500 companies, they all have one of these things, and they're all public. So you can look up some popular companies, type in whatever the company's name is that you want to look up, and then type the word mission statement or vision statement, and you'll find these. And basically any publicly traded company has these, and anybody that has shareholders and members and all different branches and divisions, they have these. So it's actually pretty interesting to look up. I'm going to give you a little quiz on this one. I'll give you a couple seconds. I'd love it if you typed in the chat who you think this is. Whose mission do you think this is? This is their old one. To make a contribution to the world by making tools for the mind that advance human mankind. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Type in the chat who you think that is. To make a contribution to the world by making tools for the mind that advance human mankind. This is a popular company today's old mission statement. I really actually love this one. I'm going to share with you their new one, which I don't really like, to be honest. However, I love this one. So type in the chat who you think this is, and I'm going to check on those. I'll give you another couple seconds. All right, I'm seeing Apple, Microsoft, Apple. Those of you that said Apple are correct. This is their old mission statement. This is the first one from when Jobs was around, which was really cool. And then I'm going to read you the new one, show you the new one. Honestly, I don't love it. I don't know about you guys. Tell me what you think in the chat. Here's the new one. I couldn't give this one away first because obviously the name's right in there, but the new mission. So Apple designs Macs, the best personal computers in the world, along with OS X, iLife, iWork, and professional software. Apple leads the digital music revolution with its iPods and iTunes online store. Apple has reinvented the mobile phone with its revolutionary iPhone and App Store and is defining the future of mobile media and computing devices with iPad. I don't know about you guys, but I like the original one a lot better. This one sounds way too corporate to me. And I would love to see what some of you guys come up with for mission statements as you kind of dive into this and create this. Whatever it is that you start with, it doesn't matter. You can even kind of steal someone else's and just do a little spin-off on your own. But take some time to do a little research on this. Dive into some other company mission statements, and I think you'll like what you find in a lot of places. And you'll learn a lot about yourself when you're creating your brand. What I have found in recruiting and hundreds of buyer appointments and seller appointments, sometimes people will choose to work with you just by the vision or the mission that you shared with them. I can't tell you how many people I always used to start my appointments like this, by the way, whether it was recruiting agents for offices or whether it was working with buyers or sellers. I would never talk price or commission or how great I am or what awards I've won or what letters I have after my name. I would always start and share with what our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives were. And very often right there, that will close someone on either A, a recruiting appointment, or B, a buyer or seller appointment, because they would feel that if their mission was aligned with your mission or their vision matches up with your vision, that right away they don't need to hear anything else. And for those of you guys that are not putting this in appointments, I know some of you are probably rolling your eyes right now. However, I just want you to understand that this little thing, that creating this, it might take you a day or two to think about it. And I know it's another piece of paper or document or piece of social media or something that we have to put together. However, when you have this, you're going to win business just because you have it without having to do anything. And the first person that you get that signs something or agrees to work with you just because of your mission statement, you're going to learn the value in this, and then you'll start doing it at a higher level and doing it more often. So start thinking about that and creating that. Number 3, your unique value proposition. What I mean by that is what makes you different than the other 19,886 realtors in Palm Beach County. And I know I made these slides a couple days ago, and I know that number is already up because new people are getting licensed every day, right? So what makes you different than all of them? Think of something that's unique to you that makes you stand out. So maybe it's that you get first-time home buyers the best deal on their first home. Maybe it's that you help convert renters into the American dream of homeownership. Maybe it's you deliver more value at a luxury price point than any other agent. Maybe it's that you specialize in helping people transplant from the Northeast down to the South. Maybe it's specialize in investment properties, whatever it is, but come up with something that's unique to you. And this doesn't mean that you can't do anything different. It's just what makes you unique and what your value proposition is that you want to talk about regularly, be proud of, and be found for. So come up with a unique value proposition. Next is a niche or niche, whatever you want to call it. Here are some examples. I'm sure we can come up with some more of them, but everybody should have a niche. Now, this doesn't mean that you're limited to only that niche. However, whatever niche you come up with or niche that you come up with that you want to work on and you want to focus on, you're going to target some marketing and some effort and some creativity that way. And then that's always going to branch out into other business, right? So if you specialize in golf course communities and someone is selling a home somewhere else that's not in a golf course community, in an effort to move into a golf course community, you're obviously still going to have the opportunity to work with them on an outside of the golf course opportunity. However, what happens is when you start specializing in and you work on one of these little niches or niches, it allows you to really focus in and hone in on one area. And you're going to get business and you're going to focus in on that. And then because of that, you're always naturally going to expand. So the person that focuses on the second home or the waterfront condo or the beachfront condo, there's always going to be people moving in and out of those beachfront condos. And those people are going to need to go somewhere. And they're all going to have friends and neighbors and referral partners and coworkers and people from church and work and wherever else they go. They're always going to have those people in their life as well. So your business is going to grow. But you need to really narrow down. Pick one of these or maybe pick another one, something else that you like or a niche that you like to work, and focus specifically on that. Hammer that down, create some marketing, some content, some things around that, and then still work all the other business. Someone that focuses in luxury is not going to be, unable to sell a non-luxury home, right? We have some luxury agents on the call. If they get a listing call for a house that's $500,000, that maybe is below their average price point. However, there's no chance that they're not going to take that or they're not going to go work that. They just specialize and spend most of their time in that luxury niche. So pick what it is for you, whether it's golf course, second home, equestrian, investor, 55 plus, first time buyers, veterans, waterfront, teachers, police officers, whatever it is that we want to focus on. Pick one of those niches, start attacking that, and you can really get hyper focused on that, and then the other business is going to come. Next, who? So who will succeed with you? Not necessarily who you are, but who is going to succeed with you. And when you pick that unique value proposition in that niche, this is going to get much easier because you're going to really be able to identify with people that succeed. So think of a brand and think of who constantly succeeds with them or who constantly is working with them. So if your unique value proposition was that you help first-time home buyers get the best deal that they can so they can secure equity and long-term wealth for their family, who is going to succeed with you is first-time home buyers. So when you're creating your content and the things that you're going to do and the things that you're going to work on, you're going to create first-time home buyer workshops, right? That's something regular that you can do. We can even help do them with you. you're going to create content and marketing that's going to go out specifically to those people that are going to succeed with you and your brand. So if I was working first-time home buyers, or that's a niche that I wanted to work, I would look up every single condo or rental or any kind of rental property or opportunity anywhere in the area that I want to service. So let's just say you live and you work in West Palm. I would find every apartment rental community that there possibly is and get some direct mail out to them and get some social media out to them and get some targeted ads out to them. Find people that rent. Knock on their doors if you can. I know on all of them you can't, but on some of them you can. Get something in their hands that shows that they are the kind of person that is going to succeed with you, because what you do is you help people move out of rentals and move into an equity building situation through home ownership. So come up with who you want to work with, and then number 5 will come to you, right? If you figure out what niche you want to work or what UVP you want to have, number 5 should be really easy to come up with because it's the people that you're constantly working with. So if you go back a few and you look and yours was the investor, right? Who's going to succeed with you? Maybe it's first-time investors. You help people make that jump, which is scary, by the way. If you've never invested in real estate besides your own home, it's scary. So maybe your number 5 is that you help people who have not yet dove into investing in real estate. So think about that based on your niche and where it is that you want to work. Number 6, how and why will they succeed with you? So they'll succeed with you if. So a new investor or a first-time investor will succeed with you if they are willing to go through your process. It's usually, are they willing to go through your process? So they have a proven, a tried and true process that works over and over and over again. You know, I talk about systems and processes all the time. And this is really where you're going to kind of dive into that. So once you've identified who's going to succeed with you and your brand, you want to understand how and why they're going to succeed with you and share that. So people that are, you know, maybe 9 months into a lease, they're going to succeed with you because they're at crunch time. Right? They need to get their finances in order. They need to figure out when their lease actually ends, and they have 90 days to put together their plan. And conveniently, you're going to be the realtor that has their plan. Or maybe you have single parents that are looking for their first time to invest in real estate to help supplement some income to take care of their family. How are they going to succeed with you? By saving X number of dollars, coming in for a consultation, and purchasing in a certain area, or a certain neighborhood, or a certain subdivision. So think about these. And really, this allows you to target who you want to work with. And when you choose who you want to work with and who you want to spend time with, the business gets a lot more fun. Number 7, a logo. So this is a big one, right? A lot of us have logos, or we have multiple logos, or maybe we don't have anything yet. And creating this is really kind of the first image of your brand. So these are just a lot of ones that I grabbed off Google. I don't necessarily love any of these, but they're just very easy ones that you can get cheaply. If you want to step up into kind of a higher level of logos and brands, I have Kerry on the call, and she is actually going to be offering you guys a special where, because you're on this call, if you want to work on any brand building or any logo making or creating, she's going to do that for you at a discount, and I'll share that for you later. But getting a quality logo is something that's important, right? So you have to look and think, everybody has some of these logos that they got designed on 99 Designs or Fiverr or something, and that's just all that they use, and everybody's looks the same. Think of what you can do to stand out. Very often I'm in offices and you'll see 25 or 30 people that will have the exact same logo, just with one color switched and their name switched. Think about, as the public is looking at you and they're creating things, you know, a relationship with you, they're building rapport, they're looking for your brand all over Instagram, all over social media, Facebook, Google. We may not think that these are the first things that they notice, but if they can't talk to you in person, you know, at 11 o'clock at night when they have nothing to do and they're laying in bed trying to do some research, they're typing you in on Google, and the first thing that's coming up is going to be your logo and your social media. So if you have a YouTube, if you have a Facebook, if you have a Instagram, a Snapchat, a Twitter, all those things are what are coming up first. You're never going to beat the Zillows and the Trulias and the Realtor.coms in the home search sites. So they're going to find your logo, what it looks like on your social media. And this is really your silent ambassador, right? We talked about that in the first quote of the class. Your logo is going to be your silent ambassador. So trust somebody that creates something that's high level so that it looks good and that you're proud of it every time you see it or say the name. So I'll have that special for you at the end of the class. Number 8 is a phone number. And this sounds so unbelievably obvious, but I really want you guys to think of this, because most of us, we get into real estate and whatever phone we have that day, that's what we use. And that's great. I understand. I started the same way, so I get that. But what I want you to think of this as is long-term, right? Where do you want calls going all the time? Do you want them going to your personal cell phone? Some of us say yes, some of us no. But what I really want you to think about is, can you scale that? So most of us on the call right now are single agents, right? There's a handful of people that have teams, they're on a team, they run a team. But I want you to think real scale and real growth. If you're going to turn this into a business that you can grow, I know John's on the call. Imagine if Trident Title's main number was John's cell phone, right? He would never sleep, not that he does now, but he would never sleep or be able to do anything, because all day, every day, he'd be answering calls, about 25 files a day that thankfully you guys are bringing in for us. How would we be able to scale this? It would be impossible, right? So you have to look at this. And if you don't have a custom phone number now, or you haven't created one, now's the time to think about it. Or it might even be time to turn your phone number into your business phone and get a phone that's your personal line. So think about, where do you want calls going? Number two, can you scale this? Those of us that are just starting a team, the first step is always to hire administrative help. You keep the sales stuff, you hire administrative help. How does that work when your cell phone is the main number and you want your admin answering the phone, and you're out showing in Wellington and your admin is boots on the ground in the office in West Palm? It doesn't if it's your cell phone, right? It's a problem that we have to think of, unless we just leave him or her our phone, which is not always the easiest thing to do. So how do we scale this? How do we grow this? And what about 9:47 p.m. on Friday, right? Or 8 a.m. on Sunday, or 10:30 at night on Saturday, or when you're on the boat in the Keys over the weekend and you don't want to take a call? How do we scale this and how do we grow this? So a couple things you need to think of, or that you need to create or look into as far as the cell phone thing goes, is yes, a cell phone could work. So having a separate cell phone. Also having an office phone, something that's popular. For me personally, I use something called Google Voice. So if you guys have never heard of Google Voice, it comes with any of the Google Pro services. I think it's now as cheap as, I want to say $5 a month. Don't hold me to that. But I use Google Voice to have a second phone number. You have an app that sits in your phone. It can be turned off and on whenever you want to take calls or whenever you don't. It will also send you text messages with transcripts of the call, of the voicemails. It can send them as email. So if you don't want to look at your phone, you can do that. It can be on multiple devices, and it can send texts and emails to other people with what happened in the call, so that someone else can answer and respond to you. So if you don't have something like Google Voice and you're losing your sanity a little bit with phone numbers, that is definitely something that you want to check out. Also, Grasshopper is a phone service. GoDaddy sells phone numbers now. Magic Jack. If you remember Magic Jack, that was around like in the 90s for people that wanted separate home phone lines, but they actually sell phone numbers now as well that you can have multiple devices. So Sideline is another one. There's a lot of really cool apps that you can put on your cell phone, where if you don't want to get a physical second cell phone, you can use one of these apps and you can be able to actually run some of these things simultaneously on the same phone. Personally, I use Google Voice. It's in the toolbar on my phone, and I can shut it off, turn it on anytime I want. It's really cool. Next, email. I changed this, but I have to say, I've gotten offers and emails, things from Hot Florida Realtor 92 at Hotmail, and that is definitely not always the best option. So what I want you to think is, when you're creating or using an email that's going to be sent out, not only is it representing you and your brand, but think about it, it's also representing your clients, your brokerage, your group, your team, your title companies, your mortgage companies, your inspectors, all these people that are going to see these emails. So if we haven't adapted a real professional email yet, this is definitely something to do. I know probably more than half of us on the call hate me right now, and you still have Hotmail or Gmail or AOL or whatever it is that you use for real estate. If you have not adapted Google Business yet, you guys are missing out. You could get like the upgraded, awesome, amazing version. I think now it's $12 a month, and you can have 10 accounts, and you can link your domain name. So if my domain name is tridenttitle.com, I can have Ryan@tridenttitle.com for like somewhere between $5 and $12 a month, and it gives you a real professional look. Remember, this is going to be on business cards. It's going to be on social media. It's going to be on your apps. It's going to be on your websites. It's going to be on any direct mail you send out. It's going to be out there in the world. So really think about what you use as an email, and take a step to professionalize that over the next couple days, and you'll really grow some value in your brand with things like that. It also allows you to scale. So when you hire your admin, you can then have admin at Trident Title, and a closer, I could have closer at Trident Title, and marketing reps, right? I could have Gab at Trident Title, and Melissa and Dave and Tracy. All of us, we can continue to grow that at an exponential level without all of us having to put the same name or something inside of our @gmail.com. So it looks a lot more professional to scale your organization. Even if you're only a single agent, you can just do one email. You don't have to have 5 or 10 or 12, but think about that as you are preparing to grow. Number 10, a slogan. I think real estate overuses some of these slogans. However, having something is important, because this regularly also is going to go on your direct mail, on your social media. And sometimes it's a slogan that keeps people around, right? If you didn't know, a common one, obviously Nike, is just do it. That's recognized worldwide in every language. It's on every box. It's on every store. It's on the tags for the shoes, their website, all their marketing, all their commercials, all their advertisement. So think about that and try and come up with a slogan. I shared some popular companies, big ones, just so you have it. IMAX, think big. Volkswagen, think small, which I thought that was just interesting. Walmart, save money, live better. Google, don't be evil. And Harley, I like American by birth, rebel by choice. Some cool slogans on big brands. And here are some examples of real estate slogans. Some of them we hear over and over and over again and get kind of corny, but think about this. And it doesn't have to be a flowing sentence. It could be 2 or 3 words, right? Like I think Linda Brennan's on here. I know I'm going to butcher this, but I think hers is honesty, integrity, service, something like that, where it's just 3 words, put together in the brand. It's on all of the pieces of their branding. It looks really cool. Or maybe you like some of these longer ones. A good real estate agent doesn't disappear once the closing papers are signed. I always see the referral one. A referral from you is the highest compliment I can receive. Above the crowd is a RE/MAX thing. Beyond the sale, see those a lot. Come up with something that people recognize you more than by just your name, because there is going to be a day when it's not you that are buying and selling houses. And sometimes these slogans are more of ways to live and ways to operate your business than anything else. And they're going to be on all your branding. So think about what you can come up with, what you can create that really represents who you are, what you stand for, and start getting it out there in the world. Number 11. Notice we waited till number 11 to start creating digital material. And if you haven't figured out what 12 is yet, we'll get there in a second. But number 11, digital material. A lot of people do this first, right? They jump right out of the gate and they create all their digital presence, all their digital material. And then they realize a couple weeks in, either A, they made a mistake, B, they can't get the same name across all the different brands, or C, it has all these different looks. And then it gets messy, and then all of a sudden your brand gets lost very, very quickly. So these are really in an order that you should do them, and we'll recap them at the end if you missed any or you're out of order. But now, number 11 is when we start creating digital material. And by that, yes, now we can build a website, right? And we can do our social media cover pages. So this is YouTube, this is Twitter, Facebook. Now we can create our email signatures and our headers. So what does it look like every time we send an email? Is it uniform? Does it look the same every single time? Is it clean cut where they can find all of our stuff, all of our contact information, our physical address? Now we can start making the GIFs or the GIFs and the memes. Now we can start creating flyers, right? So those of you that are creating digital flyers and every single time they look something different, that's because sometimes we're just rushing to get it done or we're doing it out of order. However, if we have templates created for our brand, this is something we have all the time. Pictures, we're going to share with you a pretty cool tool that you can do watermark and do lenses almost over your pictures. So we have that in our Trident and our Performance Title app, that you have some really awesome lenses that you can put over. And then we also have some custom ones that you can make with your brand and whatever else you desire. So whatever else you want to make for your brand digitally, number 11 here is the time that we do that. And then last is physical or tangible things, right? So yes, now we can create business cards. Notice we didn't talk about business cards all the way up until number 12, because at that point we actually have everything. We know what our email is going to be, right? We know what our phone number is going to be. We know what our social is going to be, our website. That's why we create those last. A lot of people, I've seen this for years, they jump right into business, they create a business card and they do great, or they spend $100 or $200 on nice business cards, and 3 weeks in they have to change them and order new ones. And now they've already handed out a bunch of these business cards because they're excited. And then all of a sudden they have to change something because now everything's different and their website doesn't point to the right spot, or their phone number is different, or their social has changed because it doesn't match. So, we save the printed stuff till last because really of everything that we did today, they're the ones that cost money to create and to build and to get out there in the world. So once we create those business cards, that stuff's out there, and we can hand out something on a business card today that people save for years, right? And then eventually they call us back. So we want to make sure that they're correct. And also, this is the time to create personal thank you cards. We have some of those in our branding package. some greeting cards, postcards and flyers. Again, on our Trident app and on our Performance app, we have fantastic opportunities to create postcards and flyers, real simple. Koozies are like the things that hold drinks. Car wraps, I'm seeing a lot of those pop up. Branded popcorn. I know that sounds like a crazy one, but some of my friends do an open house thing that's called Thanks for Popping By, and they give out branded popcorn. It's pretty cool. Pens and anything else your heart can desire. So I want to just put it all together. We covered a lot there in 35, 40 minutes. So I just want to kind of put it all together, run through all these, and then offer you up a special as well as prepare you for what we have coming up. So number one was a name, right? Create a name that you're comfortable with, that can be saleable and that people want to hear. Number two, an MVVBP, so mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. Talked about those in the slides earlier. Next, a unique value proposition. What do you do different or better than everyone else? 4, a niche. What niche do you work? What niche do you specialize in? Number 5, who is going to find you? Number 6, when they do find you, how are they going to succeed with you? Number 7, a logo. 8, phone number. Next, an email, a slogan. And then last but not least, digital material, so social media and media kits. And last, a physical piece of material, or all your physical material. So business cards, flyers, leave behind, postcards, all that stuff. So for anybody that was on this webinar, we have the list. That's why we did the registration like that. If you are looking to get any of these things done, we will hook you up if you are on the call. And if you're someone that's using Trident and Performance, we just want to appreciate that. So if anybody needs a logo design, we have a deal for $199. It includes a 2D design with 2 basic revisions. Anybody that wants the whole build a brand package, meaning you already have a logo, but everything else needs to be created, discounted down to $850 for you. Email signature header, Facebook cover page, business card design, photo watermarks, all different picture presets, templates, and personalized thank you and greeting card designs. And if anybody needs the whole package with everything, the logo and everything, we'll do that for you for $9.99. So here's what's next. Thursday, 6/4, this Thursday at 4 o'clock, Better Call Paul. If you haven't been on that yet, our fantastic attorney, Paul Krasker, who helps us and is an employee of Trident Title, Performance Title, and Synergy Title. He is doing a 1-hour breakdown of everything you need to know about HOA disclosures and condo riders. So if you're doing deals in HOAs or condos, you really need to be on this call because there's so many little things in those documents that get missed. And Paul gets cases on these things all the time where just because of simple realtor errors, it costs buyers and sellers money and it costs agents commission. So make sure you're on that if you ever plan to or you're already doing deals that are in HOAs or in condos. Even if you've done a million of them already, I will tell you, I do a contract class with Paul, addendum classes with Paul, usually 2-3 times a month for the last, I think it's about 8 years now. And every time I do one of those, I learn something new or learn a box that I need to check or a line that I need to cross off or something to really take the cover and to really be able to take care of your clients. And then on the 8th, how to attract listings. So we are doing it in our same spot that we normally do. That is 1 week from today on Monday at 11 o'clock, how to attract listings. So if you're looking for new ways to attract listings, we're going to share a whole bunch of amazing strategies on different ways to go after listings. Some of the things I'm sure you've heard of before, and some of the things are going to be completely new and totally different so that you guys can get out there and get more listings. As always, if you need anything or you want to learn some more from us, follow us on Facebook and on YouTube at Apex Training. We have a YouTube channel with a lot of our past videos, and we're constantly on Facebook updating things and doing different trainings and working with you guys on any of that. If any of the agents that are on this call need a one-on-one with anything, not only about what we did today, but more so, if you want to work on how to build your business or listing strategies or buyer strategies or technology or anything like that, get with either myself or I will connect with you through Gabrielle Bryce, Dave Ward, Tracy Cinder, or Melissa Kidwell. We've done it for a bunch of you that are already on the call, and we'll definitely be able to do it for a couple other people as well. So learn from us on there. And as always, we couldn't do these deals and couldn't do any of these trainings without you guys. So please keep sending us deals at Trident Title, at Synergy Title, and at Performance Title and Escrow. We appreciate you guys. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to stop the recording, and if you guys have any questions, I will hang on. If not, have a fantastic day. Happy hurricane season. Hopefully it is light and we all stay safe. And if you need anything, please reach out. And thank you for your continued business. We appreciate it. Have a good one.